Ladies and gentlemen, joining me on the line, he is James Young. JY, what's going on from Styx?
Well, we're back out on the road this year and doing a little different than we did last year and a little different than we'll do next year. But the demand for us is, I'm profoundly humbled and amazed by, because Styx has kind of become an all ages thing.
Yeah.
There's young people out there that are singing along with Fooling Yourself and Come Sail Away and Renegade, and but those songs have kind of made themselves into popular culture. I mean, Renegade's been used in a lot of different things now, and Come Sail Away has been used as well. So we've
you just made me
persevered long enough to become a household word.
You've probably been asked a million times, but I just thought of it. I never would have thought to ask. But when South Park used "Come Sail Away," what did you think?
Well, any reference, no matter good or bad or the other, reminds people that it sticks. If you can't take a joke,
yeah,
get out of the entertainment business, because you're going to do stupid stuff, and sometimes it's not stupid stuff that gets there. But nobody's perfect around here, and just got to shake it off and move forward.
James Young from Styx on the line with me right now. You guys are going to be in town here in Iowa on July 14th over at Waterworks Park. You said that it's going to be different than it was last year. What did you mean by that?
Well, last year it was a 3-act show with us and REO and Loverboy, and we went all over the place with that. But most of those were like the big outdoor
the arena
summertime
show
things. Yeah, this is really focused on us. I'm not sure if there's going to be maybe a local opener or not. That I'm not aware of. But we like to get out there and play a full 90 minutes, maybe close to 2 hours, and that's something when you have a 3-act bill, you can't get away with that. But the fans want to hear the music, and we've made a lot of music part of our repertoire, and had a lot of big selling records. So
is timing the biggest difference between doing like an arena style show and an outdoor show that's coming up here? Is that kind of the big difference, or do you guys look at it differently?
Well, to me, if there's a stage and there's a sound system and a lighting system, whatever. I mean, I just enjoy playing for a big crowd, and but a 2,000 seat crowded theater is in some ways better than playing outdoors in front of 20,000 people, because it's more intimate.
Yeah.
But they each have their own sort of charm, and I'm happy doing either one.
Now, you guys have obviously been on the road for a long time. I mean, it's how I don't want to ask how is it different than it was before, because obviously, things evolve. But I mean, how do you keep it special is more the question I want to ask.
Well, we've had numerous lineup changes, and the one we have current now is we lost our original drummer, John Panazzo, to health issues. But Todd Sickerman, who grew up in the Chicago area where the band originally came from and where I still live, Todd, his goal was to become a member of Styx. And his dad actually was a drummer, played for Benny Goodman way back in the 1920s.
Oh, wow.
So Todd always wanted to be here, and he really has been, in Modern Drummer magazine, been devoted to the number one drummer, rock drummer anyway, a number of years in a row. So he's a tremendous talent. And Lawrence Gowan, who is a replacement part, who's been with us a good 10, 15 years at this point, was a superstar in Canada, but just could never get a break down here. And
yeah.
And when Dennis decided he didn't want to be on the road anymore, we just got Lawrence there, and he's another just an amazing talent, and he gets the job done. And Tommy Shaw's a bleeping rock star. So, and I am who I am. I've been here from the start, and they can't get rid of me. So,
James Young from Styx on the line with me right now. They'll be in town July 14th.
And Ricky Phillips. I mean, let me not get past Ricky Phillips, because he's played with the Babies. He played with Bad English. He played with Coverdale Page. He played with Jimmy Page of Led Zeppelin in a band.
That's awesome.
And now he's been with Styx for the last 15 years. And his stepsister, Kathleen Kennedy, is a movie producer and has produced every Steven Spielberg movie. So
really,
yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's Ricky's stepsister, and so we're I don't know. We've got a good pedigree going from many different angles. And, Tommy had a good run with Damn Yankees when he was away from the band there for a while with Nugent and whatever. They had fun. And, I don't know, we're having so much fun, and the people are coming out to see us, and I think that fun factor that we're having is sort of, I think the fans can read that and sort of sense that.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's my favorite thing to do on the planet is get in front of a bunch of people with my bandmates and my Fender Stratocaster and go to it. So, and I saw Hendrix play 5 times. That's why I'm really a Fender guy.
Yeah.
So who live with Townsend and the original lineup and Keith Moon. Saw them 3 or 4 times. Saw Cream, Clapton, Ginger Baker, Jack Bruce. Saw them a number of times live. And well, we're fortunate because living in the city of Chicago, pretty much all the bands from Europe wanted to come and play in Chicago because it's a big city and it's well known, and the Chicago blues would draw them there as well. So
I've heard that before. I forget who I was interviewing, but they said something about that too, where it was, man, everybody was just there.
Well, I mean, Muddy Waters and got people like Bo Diddley, who my first LP was Bo Diddley the Gunslinger, which I bought at 14 years old, and that's what got me started on guitar. Everyone in my family had been started on the piano. I have a musical family. My aunt was a church organist. My dad could hear it. He didn't like reading music, but he could hear something and just reproduce it almost, maybe not
cool.
perfectly, but you know what it was. And so I don't know. It's been a musical life for me, and I've had a chance to see some of the greats that we celebrate, and I'm kind of a small little part of rock history myself, I guess, depending on how you view it, the whole thing.
No, I would say your name is in there, James. There's probably a chapter or 2 on you and Styx. So, with that being said, I mean, like I've got a son who's trying to get into music and stuff. I mean, when you're getting into this, it sounds corny, but what's your advice?
Never give up. Because it's so hard to break through. Just making records and hoping that a song gets through. You learn how to promote yourself. Go in, talk to the radio stations, which I'm doing right now, and tell a few stories, but not enough to get anybody in trouble. And I've seen a few things, and
I could only imagine if we went completely unedited here and you just told those stories.
No.
But I mean, all right, so let's take the guitar, like breaking that down. I mean, what's the advice from James Young on playing guitar for somebody that's kind of getting into it? Is it just never give up? Is that the big one?
Well, it's really, I mean, the competition, there's so many skilled players out there. But to be successful as a band, not only do you have to have a certain skill set to get there, but I mean, we write our own material, and in some ways we don't get credit with producing our material, but we play a great role in saying, no, we want this to sound like that, not like that, and we'll battle with a producer from time to time. And these days it's mostly self-produced, although someone does get credit for it that's outside the band generally. And so it's like anything, you have to persevere.
Yeah.
To succeed at anything. I mean, if you wanted to play NFL football, you can't stop after high school. You got to play college, and you got to keep going. So, just be so good that they can't ignore you. But there's a pathway. There's numerous pathways, but they all require you to just stay with it and don't give up.
Boy, we have that argument with my 8-year-old son about it. It's like you got to practice. Like, you're pretty good at this when you want to be, but you got to practice. So very cool stuff. James Young from Styx on the line with me right now as we do get towards the end of this. You guys will be in town on the 14th of July here in Des Moines. What else is going on with Styx? Is it mainly just touring right now? What else we got going on? Well,
I mean, we've put out a couple of new LPs over the last 3 or 4 years, and some of those songs will find their way into the sets. But it's tougher and tougher to get traction with new material. But a writer writes, so we just keep on writing. And I'm not as motivated as Tommy and Lawrence are, thank goodness. And but they're together. And then there's a new guy that Tommy sort of lobbied to come into the band, Will Evankovich, and Tommy really likes writing with him. And then Will he's a veteran of many different rock band battles.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's been a great addition, and so you just keep, don't take no for an answer, and if you don't succeed, try again.
There you go.
It's getting really cliche, isn't it now? Okay.
You know what though? Some of the cliche stuff is as cliche as it sounds. Sometimes it's the best, easiest advice.
Well,
It's the stuff that makes most sense.
I mean, I don't know. If you just love being on stage. I mean, some people hate the road, hate traveling, but for me, my dad drove us all over the country from Chicago, 1955. Piled us all in a new Buick he bought. We went to see one of his brothers who moved to California, and then next year we went to 2 years later we go to Yellowstone Park and come back, and then we went to the Eastern Seaboard in Canada.
Oh wow!
Because my dad wanted to see the St. Lawrence Seaway, and so I got to go all over as a young man, and I think that spirit was passed on to me.
So you're a gypsy.
I like to be on the move. I'm a gypsy. On the steel horse I ride. Oh, that's Bon Jovi. So forgive me.
Very cool. Well, James, we look forward to having you in town. Best of luck. Have a good one and safe travels, okay, sir?
And it's been my pleasure. Thanks for having me on.